that there's going to be a bunch of you guys hopping in the comments saying that I'm fear-mongering, and I wish I was just fear-mongering for some monetized views on social media. But if you can't handle facts and information, number one, I'm not for you. Number two, you're not fit to survive what's to come. And it's not that I'm the one saying that this is going to happen. It's that the government is the one saying that this is going to happen, or it is actually actively happening. And you guys are not paying enough attention, because if you fucking were, you'd either be leaving or rising up. It is fight or flight time. So without further ado, let's fucking talk about it. First, I'm going to tell you what's happening, and then we're going to go into the detail of each issue individually and what my fucking sources are for all of you. What are your sources in the fucking comments? Okay, so tens of thousands of active military servicemen are being deployed to Iran, not the amount that the president is stating. We have a looming nuclear war, an AI surveillance state, a potential genocide, hundreds of concentration camps and AI surveillance centers going up across the United States. Pfizer is trying to create another pandemic to sell us another fucking vaccine, and oil is reaching an end in the United States, so a looming energy crisis. Okay, now let's dive into each one of those individually. Fuck. Apparently, active military servicemen all across the United States are reporting that it's not 2,500 troops on the ground in Iran, it's tens of thousands. That the government is lying, and that kind of makes sense, because why would they publicly announce how many soldiers they plan to deploy to an active war zone? I just feel like that's giving the opposition information, right? And I guess what's particularly alarming about this is that there are diplomats resigning. There are world leaders all across the world posting to their social media that they can't sleep at night because they are privy to the information of what's to come. And then you have the United Nations transitioning away from attempting to deter nuclear war to preparing for the fallout of it, okay? And if you think that the President of the United States would not drop a nuclear bomb on the Middle East when he learns that he's losing, including all of his soldiers that are actively deployed to that territory, you're out of your rabbit ass mind. To give you some context to the mind behind this man, every single congressman and woman who has seen the unredacted Epstein files can confirm that the president is on video raping children. If you think a man who rapes children for sport, who has used the economic downfall of the United States to increase his net worth 3 times, would not drop a nuclear bomb on his own servicemen in the Middle East, you out your rapid ass mind. The man is a senile fucking pedophile. When his brain wraps around that he's losing, it's kabooey for everybody. And that's essentially why the United Nations is preparing for the fallout of a nuclear war, because they realize that our president is a senile, genocidal pedophile. So that's number one. Let's go ahead and talk about the looming AI surveillance state, okay? So Palantir and Oracle are both these Zionist companies that own and create AI surveillance, all of our news stations, and a lot of the social media websites that you guys use in the United States of America. Obviously, they're chummy with the President of the United States, and they are building AI data centers all across the United States. One in particular is going up in Illinois. It's going to be the size of 400 football fields, okay? Yeah, that's the size of Central fucking Park, all right? And the problem with this AI surveillance state that they're actively creating is that these AI data centers use up an abundant amount of water and electricity, which means that everybody around them is going to see a massive increase in their utilities. Our infrastructure is not designed to support these AI data centers. You can't build them without developing additional infrastructure, which they have not done. It is also known that these AI data centers pollute land, water, and air for the surrounding areas. So on top of them increasing your utilities to a point you can't fucking afford them, they are actively poisoning you. And why would that surprise us when they're trying to use this AI surveillance to target Americans for the concentration camps that are currently developing, which I'm going to hop into next. The United States government already awarded ICE a larger budget than the Marine Corps in the big beautiful bill when they gave them $178 billion, and this money is already going to work. They are developing concentration camps all across the United States. More specifically, they have them in the South. But this is all kind of like ahead of the plan. If you read Project 25, it talks about expanding ICE's budget to develop concentration camps. And in the contracts, they specifically state that each facility should have the ability to hold 10,000 people for up to 60 days. What's alarming is within these contracts, they also include incinerators for body disposal. Now, what do we know at present about ICE detention centers? We know that ICE agents are on record in sworn affidavits and court testimonies using AI surveillance provided to them by Palantir and Oracle, which are the same companies that provided AI surveillance to the IDF so they could execute the genocide in Palestine. So ICE agents have admitted that they're using this AI surveillance to target people that A, they don't vet, and B, they don't have a warrant for. Once you go into a detention center, you do not go in front of a judge. You are not deported. You are indefinitely held. That is why, by definition, that is a concentration camp. A prison has due process. You get a sentence for time served, or you get deported back to your country. If you don't go in front of a judge and you are not sentenced either to time served or deportation, you are indefinitely held in what is called a fucking death camp, okay? And that is what they are building. Also in Project 25, they incorporated that they intend on eradicating 1/3 of the population of the United States of America. There aren't this many suspected immigrants, little alone illegal immigrants. There aren't even suspected 10 million illegal immigrants in the United States of America. So these are undoubtedly designed to house U.S. citizens no longer than 60 days. And they are fully equipped with all of the means they need to deal with biological hazards, right? And how do we know that? Well, they recently repurposed the Wexmax contract, which is a $55 billion contract awarded to the United States Navy for them to receive global support to maintain infrastructure or amidst a crisis. So on top of the $178 billion, they took $55 billion from the United States Navy so that they could build these concentration camps and equip them to deal with disregarding of human remains. Two other very important looming threats that we have to discuss today. Number one is JP Morgan released an announcement stating that the last shipment of oil is to be received in the United States as of April 15th. It is now April 3rd. That is 12 fucking days away. And if you want to know what a country without oil looks like, you can just look to Cuba, because that's why Cuba's entire infrastructure collapsed. For those of you who don't understand how significant not receiving oil in the United States is, let me give you an idea of what that looks like. You're talking 72 hours before you have full infrastructure collapse. First and foremost, your water reclamation plants, your electricity plants, and your gas plants all run off of crude oil. You will not have access to your utilities. That won't happen within the first 72 hours, but nonetheless, eventually, all of your utilities will go bye-bye. Clean running water, electricity, and cooking gas, gone, okay? When we're talking about food, majority of grocery stores only stock food going 2 to 3 days back because these are perishable items. It's the same thing with pharmaceuticals. When you're talking about things like Ozempic, diabetic drugs, different things that require a refrigerated process, you only have 24 to 48 hours before that system collapses. So you're going to have a lot of casualties immediately up front associated with diabetes, and then the lack of infrastructure and food will obviously create substantially more. And then once power goes out across the nation, it is what it is. We are not Cuba. There is not a flotilla somebody can send to aid an entire population. We have 330 million people. We're almost an entire fucking continent. There is no help coming to the United States of America in the event that oil seizes here. And we're talking like full-scale infrastructure collapse by the end of fucking April. Hope you guys are ready. The second looming threat I was referring to is it seems that Pfizer is now creating another pandemic, okay? They have released that they have a vaccine for Lyme disease, and they plan on rolling that out in 2027. And oddly enough, farmers all across the United States are now reporting that they are finding boxes filled with ticks on their land. Please start looking up natural repellents and order that shit ASAP before the system fucking collapses, okay? This situation is actually pretty critical. A lot of the things that they've said they're going to do, they've done. Actually, all of the things they've said they're going to do, they have already fucking done. That is where we are presently at. So you can say that I'm fear-mongering, it's never going to happen, and gee golly whiz, I sure hope you're fucking right. But just to sum it up, if the nuclear fallout doesn't kill you, and the looming genocide doesn't kill you, and the skyrocketing prices of utilities due to these AI data centers springing up everywhere doesn't break your fucking bank and point you into fucking homelessness, then the environment that they're poisoning with these AI surveillance centers are going to cause a very slow and painful cancerous death in fucking poverty, where you do not have a healthcare infrastructure. And if that doesn't get you, well, then the Lyme disease ticks that Pfizer's dropping all across the United States to create another fucking pandemic to sell you a vaccine that doesn't fucking work probably will. That is why I say it is time to fight or leave. We don't have the option of waiting. You're either getting the fuck out of here or you're standing the fuck up. Start preparing yourself, guys. The situation is critical. It's critical. And the president is a senile pedophile who collapsed our economy to his own gain and warmongers for the profits of his future generations. That is where we are at. You guys are banking on a senile pedophile to do the right fucking thing. Please get a grip.